Usually when someone starts a wave, they're at a stadium and they're probably drunk, but Google just started one that you'll actually want to participate in.
Internet innovations come and go, but few have promised to revolutionize the way we use the internet as much as Google Wave. While email was invented nearly 50 years ago, Wave was conceived as Email 2.0, a real-time communication service combining instant messaging, email, documents, and social networking in one convenient package. Until now, Wave has quietly been wowing the tech community with its reimagining of email in the age of social networking. But starting today, Google is beginning to pull back the curtain, inviting 100,000 new testers in to experience it. What does Google Wave mean for you, and how will it change the way we all use the net? Surf's up! It's The Loop.
Joining me from San Francisco to help us make sense of it all, writer for TechCrunch.com, MG Siegler is here. How are you, MG?
Good. How are you doing, Kevin?
I'm doing very well, thanks. I feel like Google Wave is sort of the future of how we'll all be communicating on the internet, but whenever I say that to people, they go, okay, tell me more. And then I just kind of yammer and drool on them because I have no good way of describing this thing. So please, if you can do that without having to show a 2-hour introductory video like Google does, how do you describe Google Wave?
Yeah, I mean, so it's basically a new form of communication that Google is trying to put out there. And so the easiest way to describe something like that that's really hasn't existed before is kind of to compare it to other things. So the best way to describe it, I think, is really email plus instant messaging plus real-time collaboration and sharing all wrapped up in one kind of neat package.
Yeah, and that's when they stare blankly at me and go, huh? And I go, okay, well, hold on, because I saw Google's video, and I declared the death of email as I saw it. I said we're probably 10, 15 years away from it really taking off as a platform, but by then we'll be teleporting to our flying cars, and no one will care anyways. But was I wrong in thinking that Wave could be as revolutionary as I think it could be?
No, and I mean, that's why it's so exciting. This does have a lot of potential, but it's important to remember that this is still very early on in its testing phase, and that's why Google's not rolling it out to everyone, and that's why initially they only rolled it out to developers. It's still very early, but it's Google's moonshot. It could either be the next big thing, or it could fall flat on its face, and that's exciting.
I think people still don't grasp that it's sort of like, email is you send an email, it's done, and that's it. If you want to bring someone else into the conversation, you have to forward the emails to them, and then have to scroll down through all your, all the forwarding junk, and it looks like you're sending them a chain letter or some crap like that. With Wave, it's sort of like you're starting like a mini Wikipedia page that you can edit, and then everybody else can edit at the real time. And then you can invite anybody in. That's just one of the key features, right? The real-time communication?
Sure, right.
What else does it have going for it? I mean, I know it's got like a history feature as well, right?
Yeah, history is pretty cool because it's actually, the Wave keeps track of everything that everyone has been doing inside of that particular wave. So you can go back in time and really see step by step what anyone has changed, and you can even search all that information. It's really pretty nice how they do it.
And email evolved to the point where you could send pictures and that's about it, but half the time even my animated cat GIFs don't animate for the other person that I'm sending them to. What's exciting about Wave is the extensions that people can build for it. There's applications, right?
Right, yeah, one of the really key parts of Wave is that it's not just Wave the service, which is something that's launching to all those people later today. Wave the platform is the bigger idea. So basically Google wants people to come up with anything that they can on top of this open source platform to build all different kinds of applications and even different waves themselves outside of the Google Wave.
And I think what we've already seen from this is, let's say I'm doing an email that would normally be like an evite. I'm planning a party. Well, within a Wave, I can invite people. They can chime in. I can have an "Are you attending?" list. I can add a Google map right to the page that gives people the location. I can add YouTube videos right in there. But those are just what Google's kind of conceiving at the start. What do you know of developers actually creating applications right now? Like, how have they extended the service?
Yeah, so far, Google's already going to be showing off a few different ones that third-party developers have been worked on. I believe there's a couple different games. One of them is definitely Sudoku, which you can play inside of the Wave, chat with your friends while you're doing it, and you can see their movements in real time. You can even, I think, you'll be able to zoom in on a square and kind of see what they're thinking and which one they're going to move in on. There's also things like video chat and voice chat that you'll be able to chat alongside when you're taking notes or doing whatever you're doing in the Wave.
So when Google, and there's already like limited profile kind of features built into Wave, but when Google says, all right, upload your photos, create a profile, could this potentially be even a Facebook killer or a threat to Twitter?
You know, I don't think that they're really thinking of it that way. I'm sure that they would like to work with both of those services. Maybe not Facebook so much because there's a whole rivalry, but
right.
And now there is of course one with Twitter too. But they've said in the past that they wanted to work with Twitter, where and I think it was actually the developers themselves came up with a little widget during the Google I/O presentation where they came up with one that did Twitter within a Wave. So they very much want to work with anyone that will work with them and make some really cool applications. Until
they've got enough users and they can crush them all, which is, of course, what they'll do. But I think the success or failure of Wave is going to come down to the adoption rate. I mean, it's really only as useful as it is people using it. I'm in the developer program right now, but I can't really do much because I don't have anybody to share my Waves with. So if you look at a product like Google Voice, that service is still in beta. It's been out for ages, and people are still fighting for passes. Is Google going to learn a lesson from that and open up Wave to more people a lot quicker, or does it still have a long while in the oven before they take it out?
So they're doing something pretty nice, which is similar to what they've done with Gmail in the past. Whereas when they're giving out these 100,000 plus invites today, they're also giving all of those people 8 additional invites to send to their friends, so it'll kind of trickle out that way. Unfortunately, those 8 people also won't get 8 other ones to send out, so it's not going to go viral. But they said that as long as this test goes well, they're going to keep rolling it out over the next several weeks and then into next year to get it massive.
I'm looking forward to it. I hope they iron out all the little bugs and get it launched as soon as possible. MG, thank you so much for joining us and keeping us in the loop. We appreciate it.
You bet.